Hi, I'm Jennifer from Pose by Pose Yoga, and tonight we're going to do a little bit of movement, a little bit of breathing, and a little bit of relaxation just to help you rest a little bit better tonight. So I'm going to call this a meditation minute. It's not going to take too much of your time, but just enough time to wind down so that you sleep a little bit better. We're going to start standing, so you'll stand with your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and ever so gently just move your arms from side to side. And there's really nothing to this. There's no science to it. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just gently move the body and try not to hold your hands stiff. So try to just loosen up a little, especially around the shoulders. Just loosen up. And we'll take our hands a little bit higher and we'll gently turn side to side as well. So just a little higher, and you'll feel this in your back a little. You might feel this in your shoulder. Certainly don't overdo something if it doesn't feel good. And then you'll take your hands up in this little cactus position, moving side to side as well. Try your best to keep your feet planted on the floor. Sometimes your ankles are going to want to turn up, so just try to keep those feet planted through the heels and the toes. Bring your hands all the way up and move the body. And then we'll make that same path all the way back down. So we're going to keep moving, cactus arms, shoulder width, and then finally all the way down, just letting those hands kind of flop. You might hear a little cracker pop, or if you do, that's probably my body, not yours. That's okay. And then slowly let the hands kind of relax. Good. We're going to keep our feet a little bit wide, but we're going to turn our toes out. Turn your toes out. Just take a little bend in the knees. Bring the hands up and stand all the way back up. This will be our inhale. Our exhale will drop down. Exhale and inhale up. And exhale down. Good. And inhale up. And again, exhale down. This time hold for just a moment. Keep breathing. Turn side to side, just like we did before. Just using your legs a little bit. That might be a little tired from the day, but you'll make it. Come back to the center. Inhale up. Bring the toes in a little bit or straight ahead and slowly bend forward. Bend at your knees for sure. Bend at your knees so much so that your hands can touch the floor, and just gently straighten one leg and then straighten the other. So we're not going too low to the ground, just little movement, straightening and lengthening the hamstrings and moving the hips while we're at it. So nice little movements here. See, those are my pops, not yours. Take your right hand towards the center of the mat. Take your left hand right behind your back and just give yourself a little turn. Just turn that body just a little bit. Come back to the center, try the other side. Left hand down, right hand turns. Good. Back to the center. Bend both knees, take a nice inhale, rise all the way up. Reaching up, keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching, and exhale the hands down. Good. Reach those hands up again. Reach up. This time lean to one side. And back to the center, lean to the other side. Leaning to the other side, creating a lot of length. Back to the center, exhale all the way down, bend at the knees. All the way down. This time we walk our hands forward, just a little bit. Start to straighten those legs, creating more of a flat back. Little bend and little straighten. Your hands are nice and supportive, but your feet are bearing most of the weight. Little bend and little straighten. One more time. As you take that little bend, take one hand to one knee, one hand to the other. Come all the way up. Shoulders go up with an inhale and down with an exhale. Good. Up with an inhale and down with an exhale. One more time. Breathe up with an inhale and down with an exhale. Then take your feet, walk them in nicely, walk it out a little bit. We're going to work our way to a seat. So find yourself comfortably seated. If you can bring your legs in, that's great. If you can't, that's okay too. We're going to take both hands down to the floor to make sure that we're really calm and supported here. So as we bring our hands down, we might need to adjust our seat a little, and that's okay. But I want your fingertips to touch the floor so that your chest can lift up. We're going to take the hands behind us, our fingertips pointing away from our bottom, and lift that chest up so you get that nice opening. Even bring your head up if that's comfortable. Open and close the mouth. Good. Take a yawn. And then let that chin come back down. Good, now we'll plant our hands again. One hand goes up and over. This is your inhale. Exhale brings it down. Same hand, up and over. Try to keep your bottom firmly grounded. Bring that hand down. Same hand, one more time. Up and over. And it comes down. This time it's going to come up. We're going to grab the wrist and give ourselves that little stretch over. Good. So just warming up the joints a little before we hold. Reach that hand down. Other hand comes up and over. So up and over and back down. The inhale brings it up. The exhale brings it down. Up and over and down. And again, up and over. And it comes down. Next time it comes up, I give it a little help. Grab and reach. Great. Hands come up and then the palms come down towards the heart. Now this next part is going to be a little bit of breathing and an extended relaxation. So you may start seated and then lay down, but ultimately it might be easier to lay down, but it's certainly up to you. All of this works while you're seated as well. I'm going to go ahead and lay down just so you can see that when I do lay down, I make sure that nothing around me is touching me. So if anything's by my head like this bolster, I'm just going to move it out of the way, maybe move my body a little, adjust my clothes even so that I'm nice and comfortable, move my hair out of my face, and just take a nice inhale and a full exhale. And again, a nice deep inhale. I'm listening to the sound of my own breath. And an exhale. And then I'm going to allow the breath to take a journey through the body. So imagine you could breathe in through your toes and out through your heels. And as you do that, let your feet relax. Breathe in through your heels and out through the backs of your knees. Allow your calves to release. In through the backs of the knees and out through the hip creases. Allow the hips to relax and the low body, both legs, to totally relax. Breathe in and out through the navel center. Feel the navel rise and fall. And notice how the heart begins to beat at the same rhythm as the breath is moving. The slower you breathe, the slower the heart is beating. Imagine you can breathe in through the center of the chest and out through the pit of the throat, allowing the neck to relax. And when the neck relaxes, so do the shoulders, so do the elbows, so do the wrist and the fingertips. And when the fingertips and the wrist and the elbows and the shoulders release the neck, the back of the head is a little heavier on the ground. The jaw relaxes, the tongue within the mouth, the space between the eyebrows, all the way from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Now the body relaxes. And you're still breathing and you're still supported. Make note that even though we didn't do a breathing exercise, the breath has been breathing you this whole time. You didn't have to tell yourself to breathe, nor did you have to tell your heart to beat. Nor did you have to ask the floor to hold you. All of these things are built-in systems of support that you naturally have around you. So in times of stress, in times where you feel a little out of control, go back to the breath. Calm the breath. It'll calm the heartbeat. It'll relax the body. Again, take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, exhale through the mouth. Make a sound. Maybe it's a sigh. begin to recognize the sensation of relaxation. We practice a lot of things throughout the day. We practice reading and writing and basketball and baseball, but rarely do we practice how to relax. So use this time to feel that word, relaxation, so that you can create it whenever you need it. And you don't have to be lying down to create this sensation. You can also be sitting up. So while you're in your reclined position or you're seated, open the eyes but don't move. Begin to recognize meditation in eyes wide open. You can be calm, you can be relaxed, even with your eyes open. And then allow the eyes to close again if your eyes were closed, or soften your gaze. And gently begin to move the body without disturbing the calmness. Gently find your way to a seated position. If you're already in your seated position, just release your hands towards the floor. We'll use that mantra, peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. We'll use our hands, bring our pinky to our thumb. Peace begins with me. You can also place the hands on the lap. Peace begins with me. Allow yourself to find peace sometime throughout your day. Remember that you create the peaceful sensations within your body, and you can recreate them at any time. Take this peace with you as you rest. Namaste.